Hello teachers, my name is Teacher Stephanie from teachingstephanie.com. Today on this video, we are going to be talking all about an updated version of applying to Outschool. We'll be going over the specific questions you need to answer and my tips and tricks on how to answer them. We will also be going over the application video. Now, if you have watched any of my videos on Outschool before, this is an updated version on how to apply. You can see what the teacher requirements are, what Outschool is in another video. I'll put it here if you just want to click on that, and you can see that. You can also see the application video that I sent into Outschool. Again, there is new requirements and better tips, so I will do an updated version of that as well in the future. So stick around, we're going to go over those questions, help you out with the video, and we'll get you on your way to teaching. Okay, like I said, in today's video, we will be going over the application question that you submit to Outschool. If you want to know what Outschool is, here's a brief summary. On Outschool, you can teach whatever you are passionate about and have expertise in. They have so many ranges of classes and ideas and topics that you can teach. You create your lesson plans and then you submit them for approval, and then you get to teach them on your time, your schedule, and for the rate that you want to charge. So it is an amazing opportunity. If you want to work from home like I do, then I would suggest that you apply today. Now, I have a Complete Outschool Teacher guide that will help you go from application to teaching. I would love it if you went to the link below, downloaded the guide, and followed along with me as we answer the questions. You can read through. This will really help you see the questions. You can even use it as a workbook and write in the questions. I left a spot for you there. So go ahead, download the guide, watch this video, and we will get going. I will leave my application link below to refer you to Outschool, and you can just enter in your email. And then as we go through these questions, you can submit them with my advice, with my tips and tricks, and hopefully get accepted. Now, I want to preface that as you are going through and you submit your application, that if you do not get accepted, it's okay. It's okay. There have been veteran teachers that have not gotten accepted that first go around. They may have applied 3 or 4 times and they've got it. They just had to tweak this. Maybe a different Outschool reviewer was looking over their application and then they got in. They had unlimited attempts to try and get in, so don't panic if you don't get in the first time. Now, that being said, you also shouldn't be scared that you're not going to be accepted. I just want you to really look over that application, take these tips, my advice, and really be careful with that first submission so that we can get you through as quickly as possible. Okay, let's go to question number 1.
Please list all of the experience you have teaching or working with youth, whether as a professional, a volunteer, or in your personal life. Our teachers come from a variety of professional backgrounds. Share anything you think we should know. Be specific with how long you've worked with youth, the subjects you've taught, and the ages of learners you've worked with.
All right, now my advice with question number 1 is to think about all of your experience that you have had working with children. This could be coaching the soccer team. This could be homeschooling your preschool age children. This could be anything working with kids, Boy Scout leader, Girl Scout leader, whatever it is working with children, list that. Now, obviously, if you have teaching experience, put that first. So for me, it would be, I have taught in a 3rd grade classroom. I have also taught online with VIP Kid for 3 years. So I would put those first because those are the most applicable to this job. And then I would list other things.
Like I was a nanny, I was a substitute teacher, I coached my son's soccer team.
I would put those things after any teaching experience so that they see, whoa, she has teaching experience, she's worked with kids, she knows how to do this, okay? So make sure you're putting those things first. All right, now you also want to include with each experience how long you did this for, what year or when you did this experience. So for example, I taught in a 3rd grade classroom in 2012. You also, if you have class experience, put how big the class was, what size of the learners was. I coached a soccer team with 5 kids on the team. Put the size, the group of kids that you were with to kind of add to the legitimacy of what you were doing. So even if it was one-on-one tutoring, or if it was nannying 2 children for 8 years, put those things, make sure you're adding the time frame, the length, and the size of the groups that you were working with the children, okay? All right, and the last thing I want you to know about this is formatting. You do not do this in a bullet list. Write this in paragraph form. Part of this application is them seeing your written communication skills. You will be marketing your own classes, writing up your own lesson plans, and they will share those and mark it for you on Facebook, on Instagram, on their own platform, and they want to make sure that you're not going to have grammar mistakes, spelling mistakes, or even if it doesn't make sense. So let me show you the example of what I submitted, and then I'll also show you the example of Outschool, what they put on their website. A great example, an okay example, and a need some work. Let me give you a hint. Do the great example, okay? All right, here they are.
Hello, my name is Stephanie, and I've always loved working with children. I have a lot of experience working with children from ages 3 to 18. I taught in the public elementary school in the 3rd grade classroom, ages 8 to 9, for 1 year with my large class of 26 students. I am currently an online ESL teacher for VIP Kid, where I have taught students one-on-one, ages 3 to 14, for the past 3 years. Since the beginning of my adult life, I have always had a job working with children. I ran a small math tutoring group in high school for 2 years with junior high kids ages 3 to 15 in groups of 1 to 2 students at a time. I have also homeschooled my own children for 3 years for their preschool education, ages 3 to 5, in small groups of 5 to 6. I love working with children in a variety of ages and group sizes. Here is the great example from Outschool. Though I do not have formal teaching degrees, I have been teaching in some capacity for many years. I have volunteered with a local nonprofit as a reading tutor for 10 years. Then I began homeschooling my own children in 2007 and have been teaching classes at our local homeschool co-op since 2010. I create curriculum for and teach all levels of math, number sense, basic arithmetic, geometry, for elementary age children 6 to 10. The size of these classes is usually 5 to 10 students. Here's the okay example. I've homeschooled my own children for 13 years and teach math in our co-op. Here's the needs work. I homeschool my children and teach classes.
Now that you've seen an example of that, I want you to pause the video. I want you to go and answer the question on your Outschool application. This is going to be kind of like a workshop style video where you get to watch my advice, you get to see some examples, and then I want you to go do it. So pause the video here, go answer question 1. All right, you're back. You're here for question number 2, which is...
Please list any academic degrees, teaching credentials, current or expired, professional training, or other relevant professional certifications you hold. We do not require degrees to teach on Outschool. Include anything that will help us learn more about your background. Please include year, subject, and state or institution.
Okay, question number 2 is all about your education. They want to know about where you got your education, which credentialing you have, any certificates that you have, so make sure you're listing these. Again, you're not going to write this in bullet points. You're going to write this in full sentences, paragraph form. Now, what I want you to write is the credentialing, and I also want you to write why that's important for this job. Again, this is all written down in the Complete Outschool guide, but I want you to include the degree and certificate, the year that you got it, the subject, the university that you got this at, and then after all of that, put why this is important to what you will be teaching with Outschool. Make sure you are detailed, you're adding lots of detailed, check your spelling, check your grammar, make sure it's in paragraph format. All right, I will share with you my example and Outschool's examples of the good and the bad. So check them out.
I received my high school diploma in 2008 from Weber High School in Utah. Then I went on to get my Associates of General Studies in 2010 from Weber State University in Utah. Afterwards, I continued my education to earn my Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education with a focus in Science Curriculum in 2012. Also from Weber State University in Utah. This gave me a great understanding of elementary curriculum and concepts, and also how to teach these concepts to young minds. I have my Utah State Elementary Teacher license from 2012 from Utah. As a current ESL teacher, I also have my TESOL or TESOL certificate earned in 2020 from International Open Academy. Earning this certificate taught me how to teach English as a second language. I have loved using these techniques to teach students across the globe via video chat. Here is OutSchool's great example. I received my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering in 2004 from Ohio State University, which gives me a firm grasp of mathematical concepts and physics. My degree program also included a great deal of hands-on experience, so I am confident using shop tools to do some metal and factory work. I have continued to work in this field for the past 16 years. Here's the OK example. Bachelor's in Mechanical Engineering, Ohio State University, 2004. Here's the needs work. BS, Ohio State University, 2004.
All right, you have the advice. I've given you examples. Now pause the video again. Go answer question number 2. We're doing it. We're getting through. You're halfway through the questions. Go answer, okay? I'll be waiting here for you. Okay, on to question number 3. Now, with OutSchool, you will be teaching things that you are passionate about, that you have experience in. So this is where you show that. Question number 3 says,
OutSchool teachers create their own classes. What topics are you passionate about teaching? Which ages of learners do you want to work with? What experience or expertise do you have in these subject areas? It's fine to share high-level topics here. No need to have the perfect class title. Need help coming up with ideas? Check out our list of recent topic requests. Google OutSchool Parent Topic Requests.
Okay, now my advice with this is that you be specific. You don't need to make a list of all the possible things that you could teach because you're just an expert in everything, or you have a fandom in every single group that you would just love to talk about. I want you to be specific here. I wouldn't list more than 3, and if possible, I would narrow it down to 1. So for example, I talk about that I love teaching science, technology, engineering, and math, or the STEM subjects in 3rd grade. Now, I also narrow that down that I would love to teach a course on how to memorize your multiplication facts. This will help lead into question number 4, but I get specific. I say, oh, I would love to teach this kind of genre, this subject area, and then I get specific. So if you were talking about baking, you say, I love to bake. I have been an experienced baker for this long. You can even put your website where you have all the decorated cakes. But you then get specific and say, I would love to teach a class on decorating birthday cakes, or I would love to teach a class on making the perfect sugar cookie. Get specific from that topic and do a specific class. Now, like I said, don't make a list here. Make sure it's in paragraph format, what your experience is in this, be detailed, and have some fun with it. What would you do? Specific, right? You're coming down from a big topic down to a little one. So make sure you add that, and also talk about your experience and your passion for the topic that you want to teach. If you have no idea what you want to teach, or you have too many ideas of what you want to teach, I've got you, girl. Don't worry. I have a video, I will leave it here, where you can narrow down that focus. We go through and we workshop ideas on what you can teach and come up with a really good strategy of what would be a class that's in high demand and also in your wheelhouse. So I'll leave that video here. You can also download my Complete Outschool guide, and it has the same exact worksheet that is in that video so that you can workshop through what you want to teach. You'll come up with 5 class topics that you might want to teach, and you can just pick one of those to answer this question here. Another great thing to do in this question is to look at the OutSchool parent requests. I will leave a link here for OutSchool parent requests that you can look at, but this gives you a great idea of what parents or learners are requesting to be taught. For example, this week I saw that there was a karate class for 8-year-olds, RV life for 18-year-olds, or division strategies for 6th graders. These are all class topics that are being requested by the parents or the learners, and you can mention that in your answer. You can say, after visiting the parent request form on your platform, I saw that there is a request, a demand for how to knit a beanie. and I would love to teach that class. Whatever it is, go check out those things. You can also look at my guide or look at that video that I posted to come up with some ideas of what you want to teach. Now, just like all the other questions, let's go to my example, and then I will show you Outschool's example as well, so that you can get a good idea of how to answer question number 3.
I love to teach STEM, science, technology, engineering, math concepts, specifically on the 3rd grade level. Examples of this include weather and clouds, multiplication strategies, and number sense math. Specifically, I would love to teach a class about memorizing multiplication facts. I loved teaching my multiplying strategies when I taught 3rd grade in the public elementary classroom. I have a passion for teaching students of different learning styles, music, physical, tactile. I would love to show learners how to memorize the multiplication facts in a variety of strategies to solidify the concepts and help them learn in their preferred style. Some of the strategies include rhyming, number sense, skip counting, finger tricks, and singing. Students will learn each set of facts in a short course of multi-day classes. This class would be for students ages 7 to 10, which in the US is 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade. Now here's Outschool's examples. Great! I want to teach classes on baking, cake decoration, and pastry techniques. Though I do not have formal education in baking and cake decorating, I have always loved to cook. I started baking cakes and pastries for family and friends when I was as young as 8. Now I run a small-scale bakery business. See my personal website, linked above, for more information about my pastry business and cake decoration portfolio. Here's an okay example. I want to teach classes on baking and cake decorating. I have a cake decorating business. See my website for more details. Here's the needs work. Cakes. I am a cake decorator.
Okay, you got your class idea, you know what you're going to teach, you've seen some examples of how to answer this question. Now go do it. Pause, get this video paused, go answer that, and I want you to do the questions right now. Don't wait, start submitting the application so that you can get teaching. Jump right in, let's go. I hope you guys are really going. Did you go? Did you go? Hopefully you went. All right, question number 4. Now, they want to see you write a sample class. They want to see what you would market to parents. They also want to see what your class would look like. So this is kind of 2 things that they want to see from you. A little bit of marketing to parents, bringing them in from outside platforms and taking your class. They also want to know, what is your teaching style? What is this going to look like when you teach the class that you said in question number 3?
Now that you've told us what you want to teach, let us know what your class will look like. Write a sample class description below. You should write this description as though it is for prospective families. Include information about what you will teach, how you will teach it, and what learners should expect from class time. This field is only for our team and will not be published on the site. This section should be at least a paragraph long. Not sure where to start? Check out our sample class listings for new teachers.
Here are some things I want you to include and have a part of your answer so that you can have a really stellar class description and get hired. Come on, let's do it. All right, again, this is marketing, so they want to make sure that we have correct grammar and spelling. We also want to make this educational and engaging, so make sure you have those 2 elements in your class description. Something I need you to make sure you include is what the student is going to learn. This is the objective. Think Mission Impossible here. What is the objective? What are the students going to know by the end of class? For my mythological creatures class, it's that in this class, the students will learn 5 mythological creatures and create one of their own at the end of the class. Easy. That's what they're going to learn. Parents want to read this and make sure that when they're signing up, they're getting what they paid for. All right, some other things to include in this is what type of class this is going to be. There are ongoing classes, there are multi-day classes, there are one-time classes, and there are flexible classes. Now, the flexible classes you won't be able to teach until you've taught one of the other 3, so don't worry about those. Just think about what type of class this might be. In my Outschool guide, I go over the class types. What are some good ideas? What are some good classes that you can put in those class types? So again, you can download that there. Have I sold it to you yet? You should just download the guide. It will really be helpful to you. So I want you to include what age this would be for. So for example, my class is about mythological creatures for ages 8 to 11. I would not go bigger than a 5-year gap. In fact, ideally, you would do it in a 3-year gap. I know you might be thinking, but if I do 5 years, I can appeal to more students, right? Well, what happens is when you go bigger than 5 years, you're going to have a 1st grader and a 6th grader. Those are totally different age groups. And so ideally, I would stick to a 3-year gap. Lower elementary, upper elementary, middle school, and high school. Those are the age groups that I would stick to, and I would say their age. I wouldn't say upper elementary. And then the last thing I want you to add to this is your experience with this topic that you are teaching. Again, if you're doing baking, I have owned my own bakery for over 8 years, and I love decorating cakes, and I would love to teach your student how to do this too. Now, I want you to jazz this one up a little bit. You will be talking to parents in this section. You want them to click on your class, to purchase, and have their learners take your class. So you're trying to draw them in. Why should I take the class from you? Oh, it's because I have this experience. We're going to do this in there. It's for the perfect age group for you. And we're going to have so much fun because we will blank. Maybe add a learning activity or two. You don't need to put it all out there, but like in my mythological creatures class, in the class description, I say we'll learn about 5 different mythological creatures, and at the end of class, we will get to create our own creature. That really, really sells to those kids that are the creative types, that love mythology and think, I would love to create my own creature. It really draws them in and they go, yes, this is the class for me. So put something in there, a learning activity that you want to do that would really draw in those students. Now, let me share with you again my example from my own multiplication class, the actual class description, and I will also share with you, like always, Outschool's great example, okay example, and needs work example. Please, please, please don't do the one that needs work. Make it great.
Tired of trying to memorize those multiplication facts the old boring way? Let me show you some cool and fun tricks to memorize all your facts in no time. These techniques will be stuck in your head for decades to come, I promise. We will use a variety of approaches for all different types of learners to memorize their times tables, from singing to recognizing patterns, and even crazy finger tricks. Oops, I've said too much. Come and join me for this fun 4-day-a-week, 2-week course. Your students will walk away with the facts memorized and a greater understanding of what multiplication is and how to use it in their daily life. In each class, we will do a quick review of the previously memorized facts, learn techniques for new facts, and fill in a chart to show the facts we know. This chart can be downloaded and printed or easily handmade with a piece of paper and pencil. As a former public elementary school teacher, I take great pride in making sure that every student walks away successful with the daily objective. Informal assessments will take place throughout each lesson to make sure every student understands the material before the end of class. Here's the outline of the class syllabus. Class 1, what is multiplication? 2s, 10s, and 5s. Class 2, 0s, 1s, facts. Class 3, 11s facts. Class 4, 3s and 4s facts. Class 5, 6s and 9s facts. Class 6, 8s and 7 facts. Class 7, 12s facts. Class 8, review all facts. I can't wait to see you in the classroom to learn those multiplication facts the fun way. And here's Outschool's examples. Great. Ages 6 to 9. Ready to rock and roll? In this 4-week class, we will meet our inner Isaac Newton as we explore the forces of physics and the 6 simple machines. This will be a messy, hands-on class perfect for budding scientists ready to learn the basics of physics. No prior knowledge is required, just curiosity. Week 1. Push and pull. Learners will conduct a few short experiments at home to explore push and pull forces. We will discuss the engineering design process and learn how to use it to experiment and answer questions. Learners will need to provide some rope or string. Week 2. Going up. Inclined plane, wheel, and pulleys. Learners will start using the first 3 simple machines. First, we will watch a short video that describes the history and use of these 3 simple machines. Then, learners will use household materials to investigate how these machines help us to do physical work. Week 3, people power, screw, wedge, lever, and fulcrum. Learners will be introduced to the second set of 6 simple machines. We will watch a short video that describes the history and use of these 3 simple machines. Then, learners will use household materials to investigate how these machines help us to do physical work. Week 4, marvelous marble maze. Now that learners have experienced the 6 simple machines and mastered the laws of physics, they will mix and match simple machines to create a marvelous marble maze. Learners will share their marble mazes in a virtual gallery walk. Here's the OK example. 4-week class, ages 6 to 9. Learn about physics and simple machines. This class will be hands-on. Learners will do projects to learn about simple machines and then combine simple machines to make a marble maze. This class will cover concepts like push and pull forces, physical work, gravity, and more. Needs work. Hands-on physics, 4 weeks.
Okay, you've seen the examples. I've given you the advice. You've got what you need. Go and do it on the application. Pause the video. All right, you did it. You answered all 4 application questions. Give me a big high five. Sorry, I've been teaching little kids too long. And if you're wondering, I am this awkward in real life. Now, the application video. This video is already longer than I planned on it being, so I'm going to post it in another video. I will post it here when it is up. Now, if you haven't answered the questions or your application comes back, I want you to rewatch this video, go through where you think you can improve. If you're feeling like you have no idea what you did, you need extra help and advice, you can schedule a consultation with me at teachingstephanie.com where we can look over your application, we can see where there's room for improvement, and I can give you some tips and tricks that I know from helping other teachers apply. Okay, I will see you over at the application video, and I hope you have a wonderful day. As my hero, Mr. Rogers, says, let's make the most of this beautiful day. Goodbye!
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more videos of balancing teaching and motherhood, go check out my channel. I will see you in the classroom.